much as I like my river fishing, when it comes to this time of year, November, and winter's upon us, I really like to fish commercial silverfish matches. We're at Rycroft today, where I run one of the leagues. It's a lovely bit of fishing. Plenty of silvers, roach, perch, skimmers, bream, the odd tench, one or two big-eyed as well. Today I've come down here to the Carp Lake, which is the first lake you come to on the complex, just to try out a few rigs and get myself into the flow of it. We've been restricted with COVID this year, so we haven't had as many matches as we'd like. We're usually on his fourth match by now, and it's just coming up to his first match. So I need that practice, and today I've set my stall out to catch on casters. Well, we've had a good session today. I've fed 3 lines, all the lines we've caught fish on, but my best one really has been 5.5 metres in 6 or 7 foot of water, fishing with a strung out rig, a 0.3 SF1 float, just strung out number 12s, and I fished a 16 to 08 silverfish maggot hook, which I really like, single caster, and we've caught quite a few roach, some nice perch, odd skimmers, and it's been really good. My long line, which I fish with ground bait, and I've loose fed casters over it. I've had a few roach on it, but it hasn't been brilliant, and the bulk of the fish seem to be on the 5 or 6 metre line, where we've caught consistently all day, just loose feeding probably a dozen or 15 casters. There's 3 ways to hook casters in my eyes. Firstly, you can bury the hook right in the caster so it's invisible. This is a good method when it's hard, but it can lead to a lot of bump fish and missed bites. Other way is to just nick it on like a maggot, which also works. The best way for me is to bury virtually all the hook and pull it back through, slightly back through the side of the caster, so the point and virtually the spade is just showing. And that to me is the best way of fishing on these sort of venues. During the day, as the lights changed as well, I've had to change my float tips from a black one to an orange one, and so I could just keep in touch and see the very, very delicate bites. It's really interesting today when you was dotted down with the finest bristle I can see at my age anyway, which is a 1mm solid plastic bristle. The bites you see, you know, it's just so much, you just get little dinks on it and then it goes, whereas a thicker bristle, which I had out on my longer line, wasn't so good. And the water gets really cold, the fish are not as enthusiastic about moving about, and the bites are really, really delicate. Fine lines, 16 hook might seem a bit big, but you can bury it in the caster, you can just nick it on and just see which way it goes on the day. If you've got to put a smaller hook on, so be it. I've also fished a line down the edge, 4 joints away from me against some rushers, and although it's been hard, I've been able to rest the other lines and go down there, and I've nicked 1 or 2 better roach surprisingly, and 1 or 2 nice perch as well. I've been fishing down the edge today, and we've hooked 1 or 2 decent perch, not the great big ones that inhabit these lakes. Some of them go up to 3.5 pound, but it's essential to fish with a little bit heavier line. These new Drennan hook plates are out now. Size 18 carp maggot to 013 line is absolutely perfect for fishing down the edge. And actually, when you take them off the plate, they're absolutely hang perfectly straight and aid presentation. It's a nice red hook that goes well with caster fishing as well, which can only be a good thing. It's vital that you have good quality casters, and they don't want to be too old. I'm lucky in respect that I can go into most shops in Nottingham and buy quality casters over the counter. I don't like to have them more than a couple of days old, and I like to do a little bit of preparation on them as well. When they're dry in the bag, I like to add a little bit of water to them, not much, and just turn them over. And the idea of that is to just crisp them up a bit. It's also vital to have some different hook baits. Although I like my casters to be varying colours, I don't like them all to be dark. But I do take some out and darken them off for the hook. And obviously the darker the caster goes, if you let it go black, it will float. So my theory is if you can just darken them off a bit, they come a bit more buoyant, and when you put the hook in them, they present better. Today, by rotating all 3 lines, feeding casters, we've ended up with a nice double figure bag of fish.